Before Rome laid its first stone, before Athens debated democracy, before history even learned how to remember itself, there was a civilization that solved the hardest political problem humanity would ever face. And that civilization was ancient Egypt. Not a kingdom, not a loose collection of tribes, but the world's first true centralized state, born more than 5,000 years ago along the narrow ribbon of the Nile. Imagine a land where chaos ruled everywhere else, where power rose and fell with the sword, yet here, order became permanent. Egypt did not simply survive history, it engineered it. At a time when most societies collapsed after a few generations, Egypt created a system so stable it endured for over 3,000 years, outlasting empires that hadn't even been imagined yet. This was not an accident, and it was not magic. It was political innovation. The Egyptians understood something revolutionary. Power had to be organized, predictable, and legitimate. They unified Upper and Lower Egypt under a single ruler, not as a warlord, but as a symbol of national unity. The pharaoh was not just a god king, he was the living embodiment of the state itself, the final authority in law, religion, economics, and justice. But behind the divine image stood something even more impressive, a vast administrative machine. Egypt invented bureaucracy before the word existed. Scribes recorded harvests, taxes, births, deaths, and labor with mathematical precision. Officials governed provinces, enforced laws, and coordinated massive infrastructure projects that no tribal system could ever manage. The Nile's floods were transformed from a natural threat into a national calendar, regulated, measured, and redistributed by the state to ensure food security for the entire population. Laws were embedded in Ma'at, the sacred concept of cosmic order, binding ruler and subject alike. Stability became sacred. Rebellion was not merely political treason, it was an assault on the balance of the cosmos itself. And because of this belief, Egyptians didn't just obey the state, they believed in it. Roads, granaries, temples, armies, diplomacy, taxation, Egypt mastered them all, while other societies still struggled to survive. Even foreign policy was systematized centuries before modern diplomacy. When pyramids rose from the desert, they were not monuments of vanity, they were state projects, requiring logistics, labor organization, and resource management on a national scale. This is why Egypt did not rise and fall in cycles of chaos like others. Dynasties changed, yes, but the state endured. The throne could collapse, the system would remain. Rome would later copy it, China would mirror it, modern governments still echo it. And yet, Egypt did it first, when humanity was barely learning how to live together. Ancient Egypt did not just build monuments, it built the state, and in doing so, it quietly shaped the world we still live in today.